Okay, ma'am.
Kirti?
Yes.
Yeah, you can
Good
start.
evening. Good evening to everyone present here. A very warm welcome to all the students who have enrolled for the certificate course on fundamentals of public policy. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Preeti Sharma, our speaker for today's lecture. She is currently an assistant professor in the Department of Political Science at St. Xavier's College, Jaipur. She will be talking about the key concepts, meaning, nature, and scope of public policy. These are the concepts that will provide us with a basic idea about what is public policy and help us to get a better understanding. So without any further delay, I would like to ask Dr. Preeti Sharma to please begin with today's lecture.
Thank you, Kirti. And it's my pleasure that today I got the chance to deliver the lecture on, am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am, you're audible.
On the key concepts and meaning of public policy. As we all know about public policy, it is quite evident through the meaning of these two terminologies. But before going further, it's our first class, so I would like to have your introduction. So we can start right from Kirti Sehwal.
Okay, ma'am. My name is Kirti Sehwal, as you know, and I am from St. Xavier's College, Jaipur, Department of Political Science. I have opted for subject Political Science Honors.
Yes, next. And I would like to request each one of you that you will have to keep your cameras on so that we can go for a better learning. Keep your mics off, but cameras.
Bhavika, please keep everyone muted. Only the speaker is allowed to speak, and one by one the students can introduce themselves.
Next, please, Taha. Taha, would you like to
Hello, ma'am.
there is a noise from your side, Bhavika. Good evening, Taha. Good evening, Taha.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm from Janki Devi Memorial College, Delhi University. I opted political science as my main subject, like pol science honors I'm doing right now. I'm in second year, first semester.
Very nice. Welcome to the course.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, next is Kanishtha. Your mic is off, Bita. Kanishtha.
Sorry, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. And good evening, everyone. My name is Kanishta Sharma, and I'm from Ajmer. And I have done my schooling from St. Mary's Convent. And currently, I'm studying in St. Xavier's, Jaipur.
Okay, welcome to the course, Kanishtha. Vishrut.
Thank you, ma'am.
Vishrut.
Good evening, ma'am. Hello, I am Vishud Bhatnagar, and my schooling has been done from St. Xavier's, Jaipur only, and I belong to Pol Science Honors first year. Thank you.
Let's see Mayank.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mayank Kumar Gupta. I have done my intermediate from Loyola High School, Patna. I am from Bihar. I am currently pursuing political science honors first year from Xavier's, Jaipur.
Okay. Welcome, Mayank. Anu. Anu Bagul. It would be a request to everyone, please join through your own names only, because I can see there are some other people who have joined from different names, like their mobile names, identities are there being shown on the screen. Anu, I think she cannot hear me properly. Riddhi,
Madam, my name is Hozaka Pai.
your name is?
I am from Manipur. I have done my schooling from Maria Montessori SR Secondary School. Um, uh, I
Will you
prefer.
repeat your name and keep your camera on?
Okay.
Yes, what is your name?
My name is Hozaka Baite. I'm from Manipur. I have done my schooling from Maria Montessori SR Secondary School. I
Okay.
prefer political science as honor.
Okay. Welcome to the course.
Yes.
Yes, next is Nivedita.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Nivedita.
Ma'am, my name is Smriti Pati Nivedita Rao,
Mhm.
and I'm from Chhattisgarh. I opt social work as my main subject. I'm doing my social work from Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur.
Okay, welcome to the course, Nivedita.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, who is next? Ritika.
Hello everyone, good evening.
Good evening, Ritika.
Yeah, my name is Ritika Raj and I just joined the course like today. I knew about it just 3 hours back, so excuse me, I'm in the Delhi Metro.
No,
Yeah, I just graduated from JNU, Masters in Political Studies. And then I was informed by my professor for this course and I wanted to learn more about public policy, so I'm here. Thank you for it.
most welcome to the course, Ritika. Yes, who is next? Nina Joseph.
No, ma'am. Nina, ma'am, is a retired professor. She's a very distinguished professor. So she asked me if she could join the lectures. So we can.
Okay. I'm extremely sorry. Actually, I couldn't.
No worries, ma'am. No worries.
Who is next? Ashish Kumar.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I am Ashish Kumar. I am from St. Xavier's College, Jaipur. I opted for economics honors.
Okay. Welcome to the course, Ashish. Aditya Agarwal.
Greetings of the day, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aditya Agarwal. I am from St. Xavier's College, Jaipur. Currently, I am pursuing economic honors and I am in third year. I have opted for public policy course as I consider it as my passion. I regularly learn about the policies, government policies, what are the implementations and how it is going. It is a great and I hope that I enjoy this course with you all. Thank you.
Welcome to the course, Aditya. Deepak. Is Deepak here?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deepak Kumar, and concurrently, I'm in St. Xavier's College and in second year, and I opted for political science honors.
Welcome to the course, Deepak.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anu. Is Anu here? Okay. Dipendra Singh Shekhawat. Dipendra Singh Shekhawat. Isha Maurya.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Dipendra.
Ma'am, my name is Dipendra Singh and I have opted BA Pass course from the St. Xavier's College, Jaipur.
Welcome to the course, Deepak. Oh, sorry, Dipendra. Isha Maurya. Is Isha here?
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm sorry. Good evening to everyone present. I'm Isha Maurya. I completed my schooling from St. Xavier's and I'm a student of political science honors at St. Xavier's College.
Welcome to the course, Isha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next is Kush. Is Kush here?
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Kush Kumar and I have done my schooling from St. Xavier School, Nevada, and I am in BA Political Science first year in St. Xavier College, Nevada.
Okay. Welcome to the course. Manvi.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Manvi.
Manvi, keep your cameras on.
Okay.
You people are more shy than we teachers. Manvi, we couldn't see you. Yeah, now we can.
My name is Manvi, and I am from IIS Mansarovar. I was in IIS Mansarovar, and I am from BA Political Science Honors.
Welcome to the course, Manvi. Mayank. Yeah, oh, we had the introduction of Mayank. Navya. Navya. No. Nina. No. Pratibha. Pratibha. Ritika Raj.
यस मैम की आवाज आ रही है
हाँ बिल्कुल आ रही है
ओके मैम
Are you speaking, Ritika? Is Ritika going to speak? Ria Koner. Ria?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh,
I'd like to see your face, Ria.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can see.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I am Ria Kunar. I am from West Bengal. I have done my MA from Bardhaman University, West Bengal, and now I am sacked of Buskara Mahavidyalaya under Bardhaman University.
Welcome to the course, Ria.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shaurya.
Good evening, ma'am, and everybody. I am Shaurimal, and I am from Kolkata, and I am pursuing my second year BCom LLB honors from St. Xavier's University, Kolkata, Xavier's Law School. Thank you.
Welcome to the course, Shaurya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shanmugam. Shanmugam Manoharan. Shivani.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shivani. I'm pursuing my geography honors from Kamala Nehru College, University of Delhi, and I'm currently in my third year, fifth semester.
Welcome to the course, Shivani. Swati.
Good evening, everyone. I am Swati. I am currently pursuing BA program with Political Science and Economics as my disciplines. I am from Miranda House, University of Delhi.
Welcome to the course, Swati. Umair Harris. Umair Harris. Umair, can you hear me? Okay, so I think actually it's a virtual word. We cannot hear each and everyone, but we can continue with our talks through this virtual world, and we can reach everywhere in each corner of the world. So we'll start with our course. I would like to share my screen.
Kirti, you can stop the screen now. You can stop sharing the screen. Kirti, please stop sharing the screen. Yes. Ma'am, you can share your screen.
Yes, please. I think my screen is visible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's very simple slide which I am showing you all. We'll start our discussion with a very simple terminology, that is the meaning of public policy. So though we know that there have been so many definitions popular about public policy, and whatever subject, whatever discipline we go for, we'll have different and various definitions of the same in every subject, every discipline. So similarly, the public policy course is also having its own definitions and its own propounders, its own supporters. So this way, we'll go for the meaning of the two terms. Those are public and policy both. So definitely we know about the meanings of public and policy in their, as per their simple meanings. Like public is something which is related to the concerns of public. So whatever are the concerns of public, they are connected to the state itself, connected to the government itself. So whatever is related to the benefit, to the concerns of public, to the satisfaction level of public, that will be dealt by the state or the government itself, right? So this way it is public. So something which is related to the government or the state. Secondly, policy. Policy is, it's a course of action. So what kind of course of action would be there by the public, means by the government, by the state? So those courses of actions, and this course of action would be in the terms of regulatory measures, in the terms of laws, in the terms of decision making, in the terms of analysis, constitution, legislative acts, judicial decision, etc., etc., etc. But before going to this policy, the meaning of policy, we'll have to know and we'll have to understand the real meaning of this life, which is surrounded by the social sciences. Actually, we people are living in the world of social sciences, and in a world of social sciences, we have to deal with the society. And in the society, more than the happiness, more than the celebrations, we have to deal with the problems. So whatever are the problems around there, these problems are to be dealt by somebody who is concerned, somebody who is having relevance. So in terms of public policy concept, in terms of the real meaning of policy, in terms of administration, it is directly connected to political science as well as public administration. Both are sisters. Public administration and political science are sisters. Actually, somewhere it was not much popular in some era, means public administration was not popular in some era, but political science was popular. But somewhere we find that political science is not much popular and public administration is more popular in some areas of the world, in some specific ages. So to clarify this concept, I'll go deeper into that before 1945, the entire world was only dealing with the institutions, and those institutions were directly connected to political science. Means, what is the meaning of political science? Political science is all about the study of institutions before 1945. But after 1945, means in 30s, the previous centuries, decades of our 20th century, it was a demand was raised by the different stakeholders of the society, that what political scientists have to dive deeper into the problems and dive deeper into the newer definitions of the subject. And this way, one more sister came out of this concept of political science. Actually, it was earlier, it was known as political philosophy, then it came to be known as political science, and then later a new sister came out of it, that was public administration. Because it was the age when more force and focus was put by the thinkers, by the administrators, and by the concerned people, concerned states, that these scientists, these experts of social sciences have to deal with the administration, have to deal with the course of action of the members of government, of the people of government. So this way, a particular group is likely to be thinking about the programs of action towards the goal. So what goal should be there? That there were some problems. And what kind of problems were there during that period? In the previous earlier decades of 20th century, it was evident that poverty was a problem, and climate change was the problem, and some other problems like wars and atomic weapons. Shall I continue? So atomic weapons, these were all the problems which were to be dealt by the social scientists, and specifically those who were dealing with the actions of state. So this way, action was, instead of actions, they were only focused upon the institutions, the structures of the states. Like there is legislature, there is executive, and there is judiciary, but there was no concern about any action. So this way, this concept of public policy came into picture when the demand was raised regarding the actions of the states to resolve the problems. So what were the problems? The problems were poverty, problems were health related issues, and there were some pandemics, and there were some problems of education, lack of education, there were some environmental issues, there were some agricultural issues, there were some industrial issues, because after industrialization, it became the demand of the states that their policy should be of that kind, those can resolve the problems of the society and the people living there, and various groups who are living there in the states. So this way, to solve the problems, there was the need of some policies, and these policies are framed in the form of constitution. We all know that what is the structure of a constitution. Constitution is having your entire course of action, your entire activities which are to be conducted by the state, and by every part of the state, like the legislature, like executive, like judiciary. So every action is, along with the structure, is included there in the constitution. So why it has been included there? Because it is helpful to solve the problems regarding legislature, executive, and judiciary. So this way, public policy is not a new terminology. It's something which was popular during the ages of Rig Veda, during the ages of Greek political theory, but it was it was activated by the later ages only when it was of the society that these are the problems emerged along with the presence of various states with specific institutions. The states were having proper institutions like legislature, executive, and judiciary. They were having those institutions, but still the problems were arriving, and some issues like the atomic weapons, some issues like the wars, means there was a Cold War situation between the among the states. So why these problems were being the part of this of the society? So this was the question, and it had to be resolved by the institutions itself, the states itself, and these states have to focus upon the programs of their action towards their goals. So what would be the goal? To solve the problem. So goal is there, and public means government is there, and policy has to be framed only by keeping the goal in the mind, right? Then these are some combinations of basic decisions, and there are some community actions. Means some basic decisions have to be taken to solve those problems, and that's why a policy is needed. Presently, means recently, we have heard about a very famous policy, that is national education policy. So why this national education policy was framed? Before going to the basics and to the advancement of the national education policy, we have to find out the reason of national education policy, why they have framed national education policy 2020. So to know about the thing, we have to learn about the reasons, and the reasons are like there was a requirement of advancement of education in a better way, because the world is moving towards the digital era. The world is moving towards the accomplishment of sustainable development goals. So we cannot reach to our sustainable development goals, their accomplishment, without revising our policies. So that's why national education policy was revised. So policy with the goal of the problem. What was the problem? We have to accomplish our sustainable development goal, and that's why, keeping that goal in mind, they have framed, they have amended, they have drafted a new education policy. So, and this education policy was framed by public. In public means those who are concerned, those who are responsible to the public. So this way they are government officials. And especially we talk about the legislature itself plus the executive. So in India, we are living in a democratic world. We are living in a practical world where we have to focus upon the actions. We have to focus upon the process. So public process is democracy, where so public policy is a process where it's a course of action. So public process is another thing, and public analysis, policy analysis is another thing. So policy analysis comes when we focus upon the scientific purpose, scientific approach of dealing with the problems. And secondly, when it is policy process available there, then it is something related to the actions of the government. So what kind of actions are being taken by the government? There may be various actions according to the ideologies of the governments, like we are a democratic government. So that's why we'll have our separate process, and our process would be more democratic. We'll have, first of all, we'll have the consent of public, means public opinion would be the first thing for us. So this is another concept of public policy, means public opinion is important to frame such policies in democracy. When we go for socialist approach, we go for communist approach, there would be some other process. And when we think about the ideal approach, then there would be idealism available in the policy framing. So this entire process, this entire basic and foundation of public policy can be classified into various stages. How we classify political science in real, how we classify public administration in real. So this way, it may be taken before 1945 and after 1945. So before 1945, it was a specific era when people were when the scientists, social scientists, the political scientists were more involved towards the origin of scientific approach towards the policy, towards the political science, towards the role of the state. So, and before this scientific approach, everything was value added. It was normative approach. So in the course of normative approach, these states were, the stakeholders of those states were only focused upon the ideal approach, means everything would be in the image, means imagination. So what imagination would be there? That these kind of policies should be there so that people can live happily, peacefully, etc. But the reality is apart from that. And when we move towards the next age, of 20th century, we found that some social scientists, some political scientists were more focused upon the scientific approach because they wanted to make it more scientific. So this way, they tried to find out a new concept that was behavioralism, that was more fact-based. So this way, when the policies were, the demand of framing the policies according to the facts, whatever facts are available, such kind of policies would be framed. Means if I can find that there is a need of industrialization, then I would definitely frame such kind of policies which are only in the favor of removal of poverty, removal of the unskilled development, and establishment of more industries. But when we find that industries are hurting and industries are damaging the environment, then the next stage would be that what is the reason, means why should we revise our policies? So if the revision of policies is demands for the public welfare, then definitely we'll also include normative approach along with the scientific approach, because industries are important for our economic growth, but environment pollution is also going through means it is increasing because of industrialization. So we'll have to think over it also, and we cannot compromise with our economic growth, but we cannot compromise even without even with our public welfare. So for the sake of public welfare, we need
आंटी का फोन आ रही है.
Taha. So for the sake of development of the new process, new approaches, there was the requirement of including or combining both the approaches. That is, the first one is normative approach, another one is the scientific approach. So scientific approach is more experimental, more empiricist, and more fact-based. But that normative approach is also important because values are important for the sake of public welfare. Then next is there are these policies may be means they were also revised right after 1945. So as per the demand of public welfare, as per the demand of peace, as per the demand of security, although we had developed, means the countries, the world had developed so many weapons, means advanced weapons, but they were decreased by the help of SALT 1, SALT 2, START 1, START 2, and disarmament policies. So that was because it was only for the sake of the humanity. So when we keep humanity side by side important with the overall growth of the state, overall growth of the humanity, then definitely it will be having the combination of normative approach plus the practical approach. So this way, public policy is also having that essence of both the approaches. Then there was a Lasswell, Harold Lasswell was a thinker. Along with the Daniel Lerner, he had written a concept of an essay of policy orientation in 1952. So why he had written this essay? Because it was the excuse me, I'm getting distracted because of the voice. Can you please mute? So Lasswell and Lerner, both of them they have written an essay that was on policy orientation. So policy orientation, this essay was mostly based upon the public policy, the concept of public policy. And under this essay, they tried to evaluate the concept of realization a specific purpose with a given environment. Means public policy is a course of action, according to Lasswell. It's a course of action that realize a specific purpose with a given environment. So to understand any concept, to understand any terminology, we'll have to go for the definition, appropriate definition, which had been given by any any thinker, any group of thinkers. So this way, Lerner and Lasswell both had given this concept, this definition, that it's a course of action by the government officials to realize a specific purpose with a given environment. So whatever environment is there, environment would be democratic environment may be communist, socialist, or idealist environment. So this way, we have the environment in our country, specific environment, but under this environment, what kind of policies we can frame to realize the specific purpose. So what is the specific purpose of the state? For example, we are living in a third world group, and we are in the southern portion of the globe. So this way, our basic purpose would be the development of our human beings, development of our public, along with their along with the economic development and political development of the state. Social development is also important, and socio-economic and political development combinedly has been designed under sustainable development goals. So these sustainable development goals are mostly focused upon the social development of individuals, plus the political development of the state, plus the economic development of the state. And if these are the purpose of a particular country, then definitely this country will try to resolve, will try to realize this purpose under a particular environment. Means India is a democratic country, so India will try to solve these problems. India will try to realize this specific purpose in its democratic environment. But we are means we are having democratic socialism. So we have a combination of both the ideologies. That's why we'll try to solve the problems in that particular sense. So this way, it is a course of action, and action is taken by the government, right, for the sake of public, with a purpose to solve the problems. And what kind of problems may be there? Education, lack of education, poverty, skill development, and unemployment, and interstate problems, right? So these may be specific problems. We are also having the threat of terrorism. We're also having the threat of climate change. So these may be the problems, and these problems may only be resolved when we are having our specific purpose, and we are having a specific structure of the policy. So this policy would only be will only be framed under such environment. So in my next slide, yes, there are some factors which are responsible for the public policy, for the origin of public policy. For example, there is a relationship between society and public institutions. Why public policy was emerged, why it was evolved? Because we must have a clear understanding about the basic relationship between the society and its public institution. It's not the present day concept. Actually, it has been there in when the from the period when the human society was, means the civilizations were being developed. So society was having its close relationship with the public institutions. Means in the monarchical era, monarch and the public were having close relationship. Then next era was when we had the developed ages, means in oligarchic and parliamentary systems and democratic systems, we had that these public institutions were having close relations with the society, and they were more concerned about the problems of society, and they'll have to they had to solve these problems. For example, today we know about various ideologies. Why these ideologies were developed? They were also the part of policy. So what kind of policy was there? For example, there was some imagination, some thought was there in the mind of Karl Marx, that labors means there is a labor class, and this labor class has to it needs to get rid of this specific discrimination. So for that purpose, he had given his own concept, socialism. So this way, this socialism was developed into the further ages, that was the further concepts that are the communism. So these concepts are developed, and they are gradually developed because of the needs of the time. Then next is emergence of modern society and industrialization. Then public policy came into the practical picture and active picture when industrialization was when there was a more focus upon industrialization, and this industrialization was discriminating a particular group, and a modern society became the demand of the social structure. So this modern society wanted its own rights, its own equality, its own freedom, with various with their basic structures of their states. And this way, this modern society also wanted to push a separate kind of policy, and this modern society was pushing to the states. So this way, states were it was mandatory for the states to frame and to revise their policy for the sake of the welfare of this modern society. And this is how industrialization was one more factor for the same. Then evolution of representative governments during 19th century. And when there is a representative government, and it means the public is aware of its rights and public is aware of its freedom. So when public is aware of its rights and freedom, then definitely public will force its institutions to revise their policies for the sake of welfare of the state. That's why in 19th century, public policy geared up, it was geared up because of the need of the time. Then next is increased political participation of public in representative governments, and then later on, gradually, political participation of public was increased. And then greater importance and legitimacy of government decisions means whatever decisions were being taken by the government, their legitimacy, how will the legitimacy be proved? And what is the importance of these government decisions? Whatever is that, there is one specific concept important, that is public opinion. If government is taking any decision according to its environment, then this decision should be provided, should be supported by public opinion. If it is not supported by public opinion, then it cannot achieve legitimacy. So for the legitimacy, it only becomes the authority. It only is believed to be emerged out of a power. So power and authority should have legitimacy, then only it is completely known as an accepted authority, right? So authority is the specific structure of authority is a specific structure of today's world, today's states. And that is only possible when the power of framing the decisions, power of taking the decisions, power of framing the policies are legitimized by the public opinion. And if they are legitimized by the public opinion, then only they are having their greater importance. And we know that as per the meaning of public policy, as per the definition of public policy, there is one more individual who is important, that is David Easton. And David Easton had given a definition of authoritative allocation of the values. So this way, what is authoritative allocation? He believed that in his input-output model, there was an input-output model where government is in the center, and there is an input towards this this box of government, this institution of government, and that input is in the form of demand. and this demand is supported by the other institutions, which are political parties, which are pressure groups. So these demands are supported, and then these demands reach to the central structure of the government, and this means political system. Under this political system, there are three specific institutions. These are the three parts of political system: legislature, executive, and judiciary. And as per their output, what is the output of this demand? As per the legislature, some policies will be framed. So these, the first one is policy making or decision making. Secondly, the decision has been made, the policy has been framed, but if the policy is executed, then only we can understand its relevance. So second is execution, policy execution, and third one is policy adjudication, whether it is according to the rights, fundamental rights of the public. When these three output structures, they reach to the society, and when the society is able to provide its feedback. For example, whatever means education, there was lack of education in a particular area, and the demand of education reached to the political system, and then this political system gives its policies according to the decision making and execution, and then finally the demand was fulfilled according to the need of the place, according to the need of the public, then their feedback would be positive. Otherwise, the feedback would be negative. And if the feedback is negative, then definitely it requires the analysis, it requires the revision. And when the revision is there, then only the system will again work upon the same. So this way, David Easton had also clearly explained the definition of public policy. What is public policy? As per his input-output model, he had given the entire structure and elaborated the entire structure of public policy. The next is call for governments to focus upon public issues. And yes, this is the time, this is present era, when there is a call for the governments. All the governments are means whatever the ideology of the government, but the basic concept is to focus upon public issues. And this way, public policy is mean, and solution of the public issues is end. So what is end and what is mean? Mean is public policy, and it is framed only to solve the problems of the society. So this way, public policy was emerged because of the demand of the time. And next is contemporary public policy. Contemporary public policy is the is of the period of 20th century, and it is basically having the American influence. And Harold Laswell was the one who influenced more towards the meaning of and towards the understanding of public policy, that what public policy is in real. And this way, he had written his essay on policy orientation, that was also connecting the entire meaning of public policy. Then these factors, we have already discussed them in detail, that war, poverty, crime, climate change, and terrorism, races, racial relationships, pollution, economic crisis, pandemics, health issues, etc. So this way, today we are having the crisis of, we also had the crisis of COVID, and our policies were framed and they were revised according to the need of the time, according to the environment, and according to the thought and ideology of the particular government. We are in a democratic socialism state. That's why we are having our own policies according to our need of the public and environment. The next is, there are some, it's a policy cycle. So policy cycle is only understood through when there is a target before you. So the target is a problem. And if the problem is there, then definitely the first thing would be agenda setting. We have to set the agenda according to the problem. For example, there was COVID before us, And according to COVID, we had set the agenda, and this agenda was that we'll first of all we'll execute the lockdown, then we'll give a guideline and protocol of COVID, and this way every individual has to follow the COVID protocol in the state, and this way it is agenda setting. The next is this: how is it formulated? So the second thing is the formulation of the agenda, and this formulation, through this formulation we can understand that if whether it is successful or not. If it is not successful, then definitely it will be revised again. So agenda setting is the first thing when we see the problem. Then after setting the agenda, we have to formulate it. And what is the meaning of formulation? Formulation means we have to assess the impact. First of all, to assess the impact, if you remember that on 21st March, first time there was a lockdown for the entire country, and that was the formulation of this agenda. And how it was formulated, it was only for the impact assessment. And this impact assessment was it was observed that the most of the public, means entire public, was in favor of this lockdown. Then only they could implement, they could execute the next 1 week of lockdown. So this way formulation is important when we go for the solution. So third is adoption. How it is adopted? Adopted means it is not only adopted by the government, it is adopted by the public itself. So the support and advice to the regulatory bodies means if it is somewhere negative for a particular group, then that group will request or will advise the public officials that it cannot be possible because we are suffering because of this lockdown. So this way, during that period, they were not having that particular issue. Problem was being one new problem was emerged, that was of migration, labor migration. But before that, there was only a kind of formulation for the overall lockdown, and this lockdown was adopted by the maximum public, and nobody was ready to expose to the reason of the pandemic. So this way adoption was support, adoption was advice to the regulatory body. Then next is legitimation. Legitimation is only means adoption. When it is adoption, adoption is possible, then legitimation, because of the legitimation, it is possible. The next is implementation. So how is it implemented? The first is verification and methodological guidance. Means what verification technologies, what verification technique is there to understand, to find its relevance and its importance, that the lockdown was implemented, that was it completely successful, or is it going to be successful? Then this implementation only helps you out, that what methodology you are using to understand it, and what verification technique you are having. So verification technique is that our media is responsible for this verification, and this way media was getting the report of entire lockdown, and this way it was implemented successfully. The next is evaluation. How is it evaluated? What is evaluation is important because we want to know about the efficacy, we want to know about the effectiveness of the policy which was framed. So effectiveness and efficacy is only possible through evaluation. The next is support and maintenance. So how is it supported and how is it maintained? When crisis response is positive, then definitely it is supported and it will be maintained. This policy will be maintained whenever there would be there is any kind of pandemic or any kind of crisis. such kind of crisis, a global crisis, then people will go for the lockdown. And it is maintained. And we found that it was maintained for next year also. And we found that there had been several cycles of lockdown. So it was maintained because the feedback was positive. So for the support and maintenance, feedback loop is important, that David Easton had also given in his input-output model. And this way, crisis response is observed. If crisis response is positive and if feedback is positive, then definitely it has completely been accepted by the public. So this is how it is an introduction of public policy. We have to take it very easily that what public policy is in real, that public policy is not a new concept. It's only a simple concept which gives you a mean and end. So what is the mean? Mean is public policy to achieve your end, to achieve the end of your purpose. Or what is purpose? Purpose is to resolve the issues, to resolve the problems of the public. So we'll go for the question answer session. If any query is there, then you can ask me. Gaurika ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. If anybody wants to ask anything, any query, any question, please feel free to, just unmute yourself and ask.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, please explain David Easton model once again.
David Easton's model was input-output model, which actually it was a model which given for the concept of behavioralism, means modern political science. And actually political science is not a separate discipline. It's also having public administration in itself. That's why public policy is the subject of itself. And modern political science, there were two different eras, means the first one is traditional and other one is modern. So in modern political science, there are a few concepts. First is means out of these concepts, the systems theory is there. And in this systems theory, along with the institutional structure, the functioning of the system should be understood and should be studied deeply. And for that purpose, David Easton had given this the concept of systems theory, and this systems theory was known as input-output model. And in this input-output model, he had already defined it that public policy is allocation of the values, right? So what is allocation? Allocation of whatever values are there. Values are the policies for the public welfare framed by the government, and these are allocated amongst the public. And if public is satisfied with them, then only public will maintain them, then only public will allow them to be maintained, right? And for example, if democracy is accepted to you, so democracy, as per your acceptance, only democracy was implemented in India. If you were not accepting democracy because you were not feeling well in democracy, then definitely democracy would have not been the part of Indian constitution. So this way, it gives you input-output model, means input is the demand, right? And this demand is supported by the forerunners of your political system, means political parties and pressure groups. They support these demands, and this demand reaches to the political system. Political system means government, and this government is having three basic structures: legislature, executive, and judiciary. And when this demand, it is supposed to be supposed to be the solution of, means the solution of this demand should be there, and this demand is resolved by the political system through policy making, through execution, and through adjudication. So if policy which has been framed, it is not according to your demand, then definitely as per the feedback loop, the negative feedback will be given by the public, that public is not satisfied. And how does public show its dissatisfaction? It is only through the voting system, right? You are not going to vote this particular individual who is running the government next time if the demand is not according to you. That's why it is input. Input means your demand plus support, and output is policy making, execution, and adjudication. And feedback loop is important.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? If you want to ask anything, want to clarify anything, please feel free to do it.
No?
Please make it as an interactive class so that you get to learn more. Because
We
when
should
you
have, yes, we should have our questions.
and think, okay.
Ashish.
Okay.
Ma'am, public policy is same as public administration, or this is two different concepts?
Actually, it's a connector between political science and public administration. Actually, public administration is a platform for all those executives which are working for the execution of the policies. So whatever administration means, the part of administration that is dealt under public administration. And political science is all about state. So state itself has to work, and state itself has to work for the public welfare. So that's why both are having two platforms, but public policy connects them both.
Thank you.
Anybody?
Ma'am, first you define what is public and then what is policy. Please repeat that.
See, public is government, right? So public means those who are representative of public. So that's why we use the terminology public for them. It is the difference of public and private. Private means your personal interest, and public means for the public interest. So who is working for public interest? Government is working for public interest, and you are working for your private interest. So that, for example, you are having your own business, then it will be entirely dependent upon your own thought and your own interest. But public interest is for the sake of public, the entire public living in a particular territory, the entire population. So that's why public is related to, the public word has been quoted for the government, right? And policy is a course of action, means whatever action the government is taking for the welfare of public, for the solution of the problems of public, and for the satisfaction of public, that will be known as policy in a particular environment.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else? Ritika, you wish to ask something?
There is a question in the chat box. Anant is asking.
Question. Okay.
Can you please explain the concept policy science?
Policy science. Policy science is means actually policy science is a study of the process of deciding or choosing or evaluating the relevance of available knowledge for the problem solution. Means the problem is there before you, and this problem has to be solved, and for the solution of this problem, whatever knowledge you are having, this knowledge must be having the relevance with the decision, with the choice, and with the evaluation. Means what is policy science? The study of problem and its solution, Means how should the problem be resolved, right? So whatever the study about the problem and its solution and the method of solution is known as policy science. And it should be relevant to the concept of public welfare. Today, we cannot live only in the analytical world, in the scientific world. We should attach, we should combine the values along with this scientific world. So these values are only important for the solution of the problems. What is the title of Lasswell? Actually, it is LASSWELL. Lasswell's essay is Political Orientation, Policy Orientation in 1951.
Ma'am, can you explain policy cycle once again?
Policy cycle is, one second. See, policy cycle, you can blindly think of the cycle of the solution of any problem. So whatever the problem related to your personal life, that would be your own policy cycle for the solution of your problem. Similarly, this method, this methodology, the process, entire process, the gradual process and the series of the process methodology adopted for the solution of a public problem, that is policy cycle, right? So in this policy cycle, first of all, you will have a problem. If you are having a problem, then this problem, for the solution of this problem, there should be an agenda. So what agenda should be set out for the solution of this problem? After this setting of agenda, we'll have to go for the formulation. So what is formulation all about? Means impact assessment. Means this particular method will be used for the solution of this problem, but this method is going to be successful or not, or it is going to be accepted by the public itself. Then it is to know about this particular thing, we will have to go for the formulation. Formulation means impact assessment. It is quite similar to impact assessment. Then next is adoption. So what is adoption? Adoption means you have adopted this method, right? So this method is adopted by your support plus the advice to the regulatory bodies. So adoption is support and advice provided to the regulatory bodies, that is adoption. Then next is implementation. Implementation is verification techniques and methodological guidance. So what methodological guidance you are having plus what verification techniques you are having for the solution of the problem, then it is implementation. Means we are implementing something. Today we have implemented this public policy course, certificate course. So this course has been implemented because it was already adopted. Why it was adopted? Because it was already formulated. Formulated means we had support of so many people in this course. And then next we adopted it and then we implemented it. And today we have implemented it through which verification technique? We are having Zoom platform. And in this Zoom platform, I can see there are so many participants and they are participating by introducing themselves, by keeping their mics off, by keeping their cameras on, means they are showing themselves that they are able to hear me. They are able to understand the entire thing. Plus verification technique, one more verification technique is there, that you are asking questions. I can see so many questions in the chat box. So this way it is verification technique, and what methodology we have used, this Zoom platform. And one more methodology, that we started with introduction and then we are ending with the question answer session. This is again a methodology. Then next is evaluation. So what evaluation is all about? Means efficiency, efficacy and effectiveness. Today, these students who are participating in this certificate course, after ending of this session, they'll discuss with others. what was the efficacy of this course? What was the effectiveness of this course? Was it really fruitful for you to understand the basics of public policy? So this is evaluation. By the horse mouth, we can also hear that students were appreciating or students were not appreciating. So this way, that is evaluation. And then support and maintenance. So what is support and maintenance? Crisis response. We are going to maintain, means next certificate course will also be the next part 2 of public policy. Then this is maintenance. And this maintenance is only possible when we find a positive feedback. So feedback loop will be helping out to maintain the policy. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I hope I could make you understand in a very simple manner.
Any more questions? Please feel free to ask. Please think and, just, interact with everyone, because, we are in a virtual world right now. So the more you interact, the more you will learn. So please think and ask. We are here for you. So please feel free to ask.
Could you really understand the meaning of public policy today? Ashish?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to ask something?
No, ma'am.
Anybody else? What about Vishruth, Mayank, Isha?
Ma'am, David is asking any book suggested for reading.
Okay. See, I will suggest the reading for this. One book is of David Easton, The Systems Analysis of Political Life. This is one reading which can be taken for the basic understanding of the meaning of public policy. And one more is there, that is of Day Thomas, Understanding Public Policy. This I would like to recommend you to understand public policy. Day Thomas.
What was the David Easton article name, ma'am?
David Easton's article is The Systems Analysis of Political Life.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Please feel free to ask. I'll just write down the name of the book in the chat box.
Navya, you want to ask something?
No, ma'am.
Sharmishta?
No, ma'am.
Means it is all clear.
Ma'am, it is crystal clear.
What should we do next, ma'am?
Maybe, ma'am, because this was an introductory class, so we can end it now if it's clear to everyone.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we'll meet for our next class, same time at 5 o'clock.
Please be there on time, because these sessions are very fruitful for you all. Means it will provide you a clear understanding of public policy and how you can use this concept for your further understanding about the same.
Before we end today, I would request Kirti to please give the vote of thanks. Kirti, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Preeti ma'am, for providing such a wonderful lecture, giving us a deeper understanding to the public policy. It was like you were directly talking to us, and I hope everyone also enjoyed this insightful lecture as I did. And thank you, Gaurika ma'am and the team for coordinating the course. I would also like to thank everyone for attending the lecture. See you all tomorrow at the same time for the second lecture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.